Picture yourself in a silent, snow-blanketed Scandinavian forest. The year is 826. The cold is relentless, seeping into your bones, and every mistake, like a wet boot or lost glove, could be fatal. Survival here isn't about convenience, it's about consequence. The Vikings thrived not through brute strength, but through a deep understanding of their world. They learned from nature how snow insulates, which materials keep warmth, and how animals huddle for heat. Their survival was a legacy of simple, effective strategies passed down through generations. Today, we're disconnected from these principles, relying on technology that can fail when we need it most. When modern comforts vanish, Viking wisdom becomes a practical guide to staying alive. Their knowledge, born from necessity, remains relevant, offering lessons in resilience and adaptation. In the cold, it's not about fighting nature, but working with it. Let's uncover how the Vikings mastered winter's grip. Vikings weren't just warriors, they were engineers. They knew you can't outmuscle a Scandinavian winter. Brute force is a losing battle. The myth of the giant bonfire is just that, a myth. Most heat from a big fire is lost to the air. Instead, Vikings focused on preserving the heat they already had. Warmth was treated as a precious resource to be captured and protected. Every detail, from clothing to shelter, was designed to retain heat, not just generate it. Their genius was in insulation and thermal management, not in building bigger fires. The key lesson: survival is about working with physics, not against it. Build a shelter before a fire, add layers before running around. The Viking approach is about smart design, not desperate effort. In winter, intelligence beats strength every time. In the cold, you must lose heat slower than you produce it. Your body is a furnace, but the cold is always trying to steal your warmth. Vikings knew the real battle was against heat loss, not just making more heat. Think of your body heat as water in a leaky bucket. Plug the leaks before adding more water. Insulation is the answer. It slows down heat loss by trapping air, a poor conductor. Sweat is the enemy. It accelerates cooling, so avoid overexertion and stay dry. This principle applies to everything: clothing, shelter, even your bed. Block the wind before building a fire, wear the right layers before moving. Prioritizing insulation makes staying warm much easier. Often, your own metabolism is enough, if you keep the heat from escaping. The Viking secret: stop the leaks and you'll stay warm with less effort. Insulation first, always. That's how you survive the cold. The Viking longhouse was a survival machine, not just a home. Its long, low design minimized heat loss with thick walls and turf roofs for insulation. In winter, snow piled on the roof added another layer of protection. Inside, a central hearth provided warmth, with heat rising to fill the open space. Smoke escaped through a simple roof hole, curing meats and deterring insects. The thick walls and roof stored heat, slowly releasing it through the night, thermal mass in action. The longhouse was a slow-release battery for warmth, unlike modern homes that cool quickly. Every element was designed for efficiency and resilience. The longhouse wasn't just shelter, it was an active thermal system. It turned the harsh environment into an ally. That's engineering for survival. Viking clothing was engineered for warmth, using a sophisticated layering system. The secret weapon? Wool, nature's technical fabric. Wool's crimped fibers trap air, creating superb insulation. Even when wet, wool keeps you warm, unlike cotton, which steals heat. Vikings wore layers, linen or fine wool next to the skin, heavier wool tunics on top, and a dense, oily wool cloak as the outer shell. Layers could be added or removed to manage heat and moisture. The cloak was multi-purpose ground and emergency shelter. Adaptability was key. Adjust layers to stay dry and warm. The Viking clothing system was a wearable longhouse protecting against winter's worst. Wool's properties made survival possible. Dress smart, not just warm. After a day in the cold, Vikings didn't sleep alone. They shared warmth. Raised wooden platforms kept beds above cold drafts, closer to the warm air. Beds were layered twigs or heather, animal hides, wool blankets, and sometimes feather-filled duvets. Families slept together, pooling body heat for maximum warmth. Huddling reduced heat loss and made every person a source of warmth. Some longhouses had box beds with curtains, creating a cosy microclimate. Inside, temperatures could be much warmer than the rest of the house. This layered approach, insulated house, raised beds, shared heat, created a true sanctuary. Even in a blizzard, Vikings slept warm. Community was their best insulation. Vikings shared their longhouses with livestock during winter. Cattle, sheep and goats lived at one end, separated by a low wall. This kept animals safe and turned them into living heaters. 1 cow equals 10 humans in warmth. Animal heat raised the house temperature, saving firewood. Decomposing straw and manure added gentle warmth through composting. In spring, this compost fertilized fields, a sustainable cycle. The longhouse was an ecosystem, people, animals, fire and structure working together. Every part supported the others. It was practical, efficient and brilliantly interconnected. To fuel their internal furnaces, Vikings ate a calorie-rich winter diet. Fats and proteins from livestock, fish and dairy were staples. Meat was preserved by smoking, drying or salting. Fish, like herring and salmon, were dried for winter. Butter, cheese and animal fat provided concentrated energy. Nuts and seeds added variety and fuel. This fat-heavy diet gave slow-burning energy for warmth and hard work. Food was survival fuel, not just sustenance. Modern equivalents: jerky, nuts, hard cheese, dense, portable and long-lasting. The lesson: eat for energy, not just taste, when facing the cold. The Vikings' true secret was a layered, holistic survival system. Every element, longhouse, animals, clothing, beds and diet, worked together. If one layer failed, others backed it up. The longhouse insulated, animals heated, clothing protected, beds pooled warmth, and food fueled the body. This redundancy made them resilient in the harshest climate. Modern life relies on single solutions. When they fail, we're vulnerable. The Viking lesson: think in layers, not just quick fixes. Keep blankets and food as backup, know how to insulate, and plan for failure. Preparedness is a culture, not a gadget. By adopting layered thinking, we become more resilient and safer. The Vikings didn't just survive winter, they mastered it.